First off, I'd like to say that I am not a legal expert and I don't know a lot about copyright law, so if anything sneaks in here that I am saying that is incorrect, I do apologize. Additionally, any opinions I say here are my own and not any of the companies that I mentioned. White Wolf was originally a magazine company for role-playing games back in the 80s, and it was related to a bunch of games you might have heard of, such as Ars Magica and Pendragon. Now, in 1991, it would create its own game called Vampire the Masquerade, which would take off and become a huge success in both role-playing game scenes and the LARP scene. The LARP version having the Mind's Eye Theater system, which would eventually be licensed to By Night Studios later on, but we'll get there. Additionally, from there, White Wolf would give out licenses to video game companies to try and sort of probably act as PR for the game itself. And we would have games such as Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which would be a cult classic, even though it was a commercial failure at the time. From there, White Wolf would merge with CCP, the creators of EVE Online. There would be a World of Darkness MMO. However, it would be canceled after 9 years of development. In 2012, White Wolf would sort of take a backseat to directly developing the game lines and instead license them out to game companies such as Onyx Path Publishing, who would take on the licenses for Chronicles of Darkness, World of Darkness, and Exalted. They would additionally buy the licenses to Scion, which is an urban myth game akin to Percy Jackson, and purchase the license to Trinity, which is a sci-fi role-playing game where you can play as superheroes and psychics. Also, Scarred Lands was purchased, which is a medieval setting that seems to be inspired by Greek mythology with gods and titans fighting, just for your information. From there, in 2016, CCP would sell White Wolf to Paradox Interactive, and Paradox Interactive would push for a new World of Darkness edition, 5th edition. So after I made this video initially, I did ask around and got some feedback from a few people, and I found out that in the Wikipedia page for White Wolf, there was a section I had glossed over that was in November 2018, after most of its staff were dismissed for making controversial statements, it was announced that White Wolf would no longer function as an entity separate from Paradox Interactive. So essentially, White Wolf got merged into Paradox Interactive wholly, so there was no longer White Wolf. Anything named White Wolf would be called Paradox from now on. And the Vampire the Masquerade and other 5th edition game lines essentially were handed over to Modiphius and then Renegade Game Studios after that. It's at this point that I hope that you can keep the comments civil down below and we can talk on something that's more important in my mind. It's at this point I'd like to say that White Wolf is not just a company, it's the people who helped make that company. Go to your bookshelf and look at the credits section of your favorite White Wolf book and look at the game designers who are there. Check them out. Maybe they've gone on to create their own games, or maybe they've gone on to create their own game companies, and maybe you'll find one that you'll enjoy just as much as Vampire the Masquerade or any of the other White Wolf games that you've played. This is why you'll see a lot of Onyx Path stuff on my YouTube channel. It's because I liked what they've done with White Wolf, and now I want to see what they're doing now with other game lines. So please check out some of the other videos on my channel. If you'd like to support the channel, there is the Patreon, and I hope there's a video here that it strikes your fancy. Shout out to our patrons for supporting the channel.